Welcome back to the desk. It's time for story time again. It's that time of week where I read you a short story that I creatively wrote, somewhat creatively, for you to enjoy. We're gonna keep it. This one's pretty short again, but I think it gets through what I need to get through. This prompt actually came from Reddit. Reddit writing prompts. It's like r/writing prompts or something like that. Here's the prompt. The Grim Reaper is the first human to die, and had taken it upon himself to walk the deceased to the afterlife, so that they do not have to feel the loneliness he felt. Pretty fun. Well, in my opinion, pretty fun prompt, because I went somewhere with it that you're about to find out. But if you want to test it out for yourself before you hear how I did it, go ahead and pause the video now. Go write yourself something real quick. It doesn't have to be long. This probably took me 10-15 minutes of thinking and writing. So yeah, just an exercise of the brain. Get your creativity going. Here is what I came up with. The title for this piece has to be said in a very specific way. You ready for it? The Usher of Death. That's how you have to say it. It's specified in the story that's how you have to say it. So if you ever hear me say that in the story, that's why. There are parentheses that say it as if it's like a wrestler name. So, just so you know and I know and everybody here is know. So let's hear about the Grim Reaper story. Here we go. The Usher of Death. Hi, I'm the Grim Reaper. When you hear that, you may think, oh, this guy, black cloak, scary, real bad guy. Well, that's not really accurate. Just a stupid rumor made up by an idiot named Clint. You see, I died like really long ago. Like the first one. Numero uno dead guy. Turns out, when you're the only dead one, it can get a bit lonely, so I decided to dedicate my life, well, afterlife, to stopping that loneliness. So I walk those who have died to the afterlife just so they'd have someone. This Clint guy comes along, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Allow me to escort you to the afterlife. Then he just disappears. I guess someone revived him or something? Man, I wish modern medicine had been modern when I was around. Anyway, Clint goes back telling everyone about this guy who takes people to the afterlife. The one day I wear my cloak, which is really comfortable, by the way, and now it's ruined for the rest of my afterlife, which is quite a while. So here I've been since the day I died, trying to help those who followed me. I'll be honest, the jokes have gotten better over the years, although most aren't really chatty on the way to the afterlife, but occasionally you get a real talker. So I learned what I can when they tell me what's going on in the world and try to keep up with all the big sporting events as they happen. It's really the best when you get a real descriptive person, like right after the Super Bowl. You get a play-by-play practically. Do I ever want to retire? Well, that may be hard. It turns out you have like a 24-hour window in which you can move to the afterlife. Sorry, flip the page. At which point your death ticket is invalid, so I'm just the Usher of Death. Please say that in a cool wrestler announcer voice, is what it says there. So that's my life. A life of talking to those recently deceased while I lead them to the afterlife. Thank you. You probably didn't see it, but that was about 9 different attempts at reading all the way through that I just had. But I did it! The Grim Reaper's hard to read. The Usher of Death. So, there you go. The Usher of Death. Learned a little bit about the Grim Reaper and that idiot named Clint who's given him a bad name. He's not that bad, apparently. It's from what I've read. If you happen to write a prompt, if you wrote a prompt and you want me to write about that prompt, let me know. Leave it in the description. There's an email you could send it to. Thank you to storytime@gmail.com. If you wrote a response to this prompt, throw it in there too. I'd love to read it. I'd love to read what you have written about the Grim Reaper. That's story time. Come back next week. I think the story's a little bit longer next week. Let me give you a teaser. I have it here. Hold on. Where is it? I think it's the one before this. No, I missed. It's something about the moon. I remember that much. Oh, yeah. A cow can do it! Exclamation point is the title. So come back next week. This one's a little bit longer. It's a 2-pager. 2-pager, front and back. I'll see you then. This has been Storytime. Thanks for watching.